but people are already cheering for us because it's Two Mics,
One Marriage
podcast. Here we are. Got a cool
that was
logo.
A rough start.
What's that?
That was rough.
Well, it's new music. I'm going to be honest. I'm wondering if there's a way we can go from like intro to like a snippet of like a current song that everybody knows like before to
You don't think people know jazzy elevator music?
There's cheering in it, and there's no elevator music that has cheering in it.
That's true. That'd be a cool elevator song.
They're
like
cheering
maybe in Vegas.
For us.
Yeah.
In our recent appearance on HGTV's House Hunters.
The HGTV.
The real one on cable, which is dying, but it's okay because it's still there, and we were friends of the House Hunters.
Yeah, I'm surprised we even have the time to do this podcast after the appearance. Between the sex parties, the ecstasy, the wave.
Even Diddy called.
Yeah, Diddy called. He said he needs a loan. Topical, right? Take that, Diddy.
Yeah, no, it's just been an overflow of inbound messages and texts from our aunts and our grandmas, and our godmothers.
Name their babies Minda and Dan.
Yeah.
Like it's been a lot.
I didn't realize so many people watched HGTV.
Yeah, a lot of the young kids are getting into it. That know that they just want to see what buying a house looks like because they're never going to buy one. So at this point, we were on. We both, we were featured at the end. We came in strong to close out the episode. We both got to speak on camera, which I wasn't sure.
We got lines. That's an official credit right there.
Yeah.
Soon you're going to see an HGTV right in the corner of this logo.
We will shamelessly utilize HGTV going forward.
I liked how they captured our real characters though. Hopefully when we actually put this out or in later reels, we can see little clippies of our parts. I believe we're allowed to share little clips as long as we give credit to where it's from.
I don't know. I didn't super read what we signed.
No, you didn't want to read it at all. He tried to make me sign it immediately. He told me, what's the point of reading it? I'm going to make you sign it anyway because he really wanted to be on HGTV.
Yeah, it could have said anything. It could have said we own your house now, and I would have been like, yep, you got it. It says House Hunters, you can have it. So.
Did you give up your kitten?
No, God, no.
Okay.
No,
all right. So we have limits.
No.
All right.
I would not have traded an HGTV credit for my kitten.
All right. But nonetheless, it was a fun experience, behind the scenes, seeing, how they are able to film House Hunters so plentifully. I didn't realize until we got the gig that, there's 1,000 seasons of House Hunters or something. I don't know. It's 600. It's crazy.
We're no joke on season 452. And I don't,
there you go. 452.
I don't understand how that's at all possible, but we have reached the apex of Caucasian culture being on it. I'm not sure is there anything whiter?
I mean, nothing says couples comedy, relationship podcasts like HGTV.
It is very couples focused. It is on brand for what we're doing here at Two Mics, One Marriage.
Look at that logo. It's pretty nice.
Maybe that's our promo.
Well, it'll be one of them, one of 1,000. We'll definitely be working in the HGTV clips. So what's great is in my scene, I got to be a little sassy, sarcastic, passive aggressive, which so me, right?
Yeah.
The whole time the girl who was getting the new home was pregnant. And she has a turtles charity where she helps turtles and she loves turtles and there's turtles everywhere. So it's me in the nursery holding a turtle thing up going, oh, is it going to be a turtle motif? And then we all laugh.
Yeah.
Super funny.
Really crushed
roast
on the second floor.
Yeah. And you, what was yours?
Some that we were putting together, I think was like a baby carrier or a crib, and I said something about being in the planning phase. It's me like being dopey, and I don't know how stuff works.
They really nailed us.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they HGTV really got us just after one day of filming. So thank you HGTV for really embracing the Two Mics One Marriage characters and people behind
yeah.
the creative. Yeah, so I got to be sassy bitchy.
I
You got
got
to be dopey dumb.
got to be dopey. It was interesting just to see the whole behind the scenes and how it worked and how they like set up the shots and
Yeah, they flew in a producer who's based in LA to like do the Florida stuff. So
it,
trying to
it,
keep it top notch.
it was very like run and gun too, where there was like there was no lighting that I mean they had like high
Well,
end
they had the
cameras.
sun.
But yeah, well,
And they
God
had
lit
like
it. Sorry.
really giant cameras. Like everyone's on their phones, but they had God and the sun. And I think that's what really HGTV stands for is like working with what you got
Yeah.
and what the Lord gives us. And whether that's a house or, a tent in the sun, they're there for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the people to see it. What the scene that Dan's in is the picture that we put on the now Two Mics One Marriage Instagram.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
got to go
it's on
follow that.
there.
That's like a thing.
I took a picture of the TV.
Yeah, yeah. He has a picture of us in the TV watching the TV. It's all very Inception.
Very professional.
Yeah.
You can probably see me in the reflection on the TV. Yeah, it was a good time. We learned a lot. We laughed. We loved. We talked about turtles. It was a good time.
All right. Well, it's what's going to carry us through the tour. The tour starts next month. We've been practicing. We've been dabbling, doing the dual set.
Yeah,
we're ready to roll it out. And this HGTV is just the motivation we need to say, you know what? We are somebody.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we
were on basic cable.
Yeah.
And not only that, once it gets into the distribution phase, it's not a brand new episode, but it goes into the archives, if you will. We'll also be on Hulu and HBO Max, so you'll be seeing those logos added to this logo in the coming months.
And Discovery Max.
Oh, Discovery.
We could put the
Discovery Plus.
Or Discovery Plus.
Stop combining them. I'm already confused. Oh my God, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore.
It might be on Amazon Prime too.
Oh my God, we're gonna have so many logos under this logo.
9 logos on our flyers now from being on the end of an episode.
What a great reason to drive to Vero Beach. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had to say, why am I going to Vero Beach? I'm gonna say this is probably the most productive drive to Vero Beach we've ever made.
No, that those 2 minutes got us 9 credits. That's
So yeah, we're on the up. That's exciting. We're for Happy Wife, Happy Life. I'm gonna skip around a little bit because this talks about us being on the up a little bit. We're all about the transitions here.
Yeah, we're all about new logos.
It's that smooth transition. But I'm making changes in the household. We've gone organic, only buying organic fruits, vegetables, most perishables and non-perishables, just everything. The meats. We talked about the meats being delivered.
Yeah.
On top of it, you cannot bring regular bananas home anymore. I will only accept the organic bananas, berries.
It's good, but it's also a nightmare because the good part of it is Minda is having everything, I guess, a lot of it arrives at the house now. But whenever I have to buy something from the store, it's like I have to always find the organic version, and I'm really lazy and want to always get through Publix super quickly, so I don't want to do that and have to look through the shelves and find the organic. And some stuff like the chocolate chips are like, there's not even regular chocolate chips that are organic.
Well,
it's like
hard
chunks of chocolate.
You're in a small Publix, so we don't even have the big Publix by our house. We have the small Publix. I mean, if I wanted to send you all the way like to Linton, you could go to like a Sprouts, a Trader Joe's.
I don't work for Instacart.
Exactly. He's not going to go that far. He's only going to go to the grocery store closest to our house. I think that's fair, right? So thus he's in a tiny Publix. It's not even a regular size Publix or a marketplace. So unfortunately, sometimes there's only one or two organic options because they're not like fully on board yet.
No. Organic shopping is not a pleasure at Publix. It is
No,
quite the
and we love
opposite.
Publix.
And
They
I do
never
love-
BOGO organic stuff.
Rarely.
The green, I'm trying to buy into the Green Wise as best I can, but it feels corporate to me now. I don't know what it is.
Well, I think organic. I think it's bullshit because it's like who even determines what makes it organic. I know there is like some sort of board, but I don't know what it means.
No, it is totally bullshit, and that's why I'm trying not even to get our stuff. I want to go to like markets, like for fruits and vegetables. We got to get it from a stand. Like I want the dude who grew it to sell it to me.
Could this podcast be organic? Could this be the organic?
No, we just talked about house hunters.
Two mics. Well, that's kind of organic. That's very wholesome.
Hunters.
That's wholesome.
Well, organic and wholesome are not the same thing.
They are to me.
God, you don't even know the definition of what you're eating. That's probably why you ate those mushrooms.
Yes.
Would you consider the mushroom situation? Yo, talk about who's the bitch. I don't know if it was a fight. It was just like a weird thing. Man, I love the little things underneath.
Yeah, no, those are cool.
It's going to be weird when we use them and then we mix up all the episodes and we don't use them. But,
Yeah.
Seinfeld first season. It's a bunch of
no,
garbage.
hey, we're
we're
figuring
trying
it
our
out.
best.
We don't have the time up there tonight, so I don't.
Oh yeah. Well, just so
No,
Ben
run
knows,
away.
behind the board in comedy, when you're at a certain point, like, oh, I'm going to do 20 minutes, someone will say, light me at 15, light me at 18 or whatever. If you can't put it up, you can just light us when we have 5 minutes left. And we adapt very well to being lit.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Although,
No, we know.
he got it
yeah.
up pretty quick. Is that the right time there?
Yes, you guys have been going for about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, all right.
Really, really rolling. Wow, we're at the halfway mark. There's an intermission if you guys want to go get a snack.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
this
come
is
back.
where get your weed and be like, well, I'm kind of invested, but not fully invested, but this weed will help me get more invested in Dan's mushroom story.
Oh yeah. So let's back to the mushroom story. So I forget what we were talking about it recently, and we ended up talking about it with people. So I thought, all right, I should tell the story on the podcast here because I am speaking my truth now.
Yeah, no, he went to like a Reiki person that I sent him to, and he's still not too sure about, and I can respect that. We're giving Dan his space, but nonetheless, he was told to speak his truth, to be a more genuine Dan, right?
Yeah, to speak my truth. So I wanted to tell the mushroom story about the dangers of drugs to children. That's what I did. So this wasn't recent. This was like 2 years ago now. Maybe more. Actually, probably maybe 3. I don't know. 2-3 years ago. But so we a friend of ours, a comedian friend, got us some mushrooms one weekend, and we had a bunch of friends. We watched a movie or whatever. And when I took the mushrooms, I was like, oh, these are tame. This is like an edible. This is kind of not. This is a snooze. So I was like,
and he
all right.
doesn't really take mushrooms a lot.
I took mushrooms one other time in college, which would have been 10 to 12 years prior.
Making these calls was pretty, running loose and fast with your mushroom knowledge.
Yeah, and my requests were very vague, but I just said, hey, give me something stronger than what you gave me. And boy, he did. He came in with something. He's like, I actually haven't tried these yet, which isn't a good sign. But he's like,
it was Penis Envy, which is a well-known strain.
Was it? I thought it was some devil's something.
Oh no, Penis Envy.
It was Penis.
It was some Penis Envy.
All right,
but some new ones.
Yeah, some new ones. So it's like, okay, we both did them. We were just, the thing is, it was dumb too, and this leads into it, is we didn't really plan that day to do them. We were we had the night off. It was a Saturday, and we were drinking, and I ate a bunch of seafood earlier from Crafty Crab, which that'll come back later, literally and figuratively. So we were he came over and we took him, and then he left. He didn't really stick around.
He left, and then we made it fun though.
We
played Sonic the Hedgehog.
It started out very fun. Where I turned on my Sega Genesis. We went to the Dan Cave and we were playing Sonic the Hedgehog, but the colors were too much for us. We
It
weren't
was
like,
a little bit intense. Like to be on mushrooms playing Sonic was like a lot of visual stimulation.
it's really
And I
colorful.
think we both were like, okay, this is like a little too much for what we're trying
Yeah,
to do here.
like the rings.
I thought,
Those-
yeah, no, it was a lot of ding, 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 like a
Yes.
lot of the spinning. It was the spinning and the flying. It was a lot of stuff going on. So we did what any privileged white people do. We said, let's get cookies delivered to us
yes.
at the house. We knew well enough that we couldn't drive, so we decided to do cookie delivery from one of my favorite places in Boca called Just Baked. Love Just Baked. They're open super late.
Down the road from here.
Yeah, I mean,
Really close.
they were
Sponsor
better a
us.
few years ago, but I know it's hard to find good help, so I'm not going to hold it against you, Just Baked. I'm just saying I've been there the last few months and it's been iffy, but it's like Crumble's giving you a run for your money, and I don't really appreciate that because I want to support the local person. So,
Wow, I thought the last cookies we had there were good. That's a good
they're
cookie
okay.
monster.
But anyway, in that moment, we're like, let's get some Just Baked cookies, and it was like 2 years ago, and they were fire. Like you could like kill a fucking brookie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
so good. So we Uber Eats some cookies. And then that segued into probably like one of the greatest hours of our life.
Yeah. So we are waiting for the cookies to come, and then Minda realized that you could track the cookies coming in real time and where the guy was at, like on the maps. And we had created this Messiah-like complex for him where we're like, he's 5 minutes closer, and we would get so excited.
No, it was super cool because I was refreshing and it was just showing like the time, and the time kept going down.
Yeah.
So like the cookies that were supposed to take like an hour and 15 minutes to get there were now down to like 45 minutes on the time. And I turned to Dan and I said, man, it would be really cool if I could see the driver in real time. And then I hit like a map button, and a giant map came up on my phone where his little car was being tracked moment by moment on the road. And I'm going to say we lost our shit at that moment, right? That was like the greatest thing that had ever happened to us, was us being able to track our cookies in real time.
Yeah, no, you would pull up the app 'cause we were sitting on the back porch, and then you would go, he's 2 minutes closer, and then we would just
It kept getting shorter, which
Yeah.
was so exciting because you were like, at first, you're like, oh, an hour for cookies. And then we're down to like 45, 30 minutes or whatever. And it's just like shooting down every minute. It's going down 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah, and then he finally arrived.
The cookie man showed up.
Did you remember his name?
I don't, but it
You
was
did
like
for a
something
while.
like Jesus. It was very like topical for the moment. Like
Yeah.
Jesus showed up with our cookies, and I went outside and I kind of like bowed a little bit when I opened the door, and I said, thank you for bringing the cookie. Yeah, it was like a moment.
Yeah.
I was so happy those cookies were there.
Yeah, and so we got
Such a
the
great
cookies
moment.
and then ate some of the cookies, and the joy began.
Then things
came to
for Dan, I was still having a great time.
Yeah, Minda was still rocking it. She was having a good time. Minda never had a bad time, so we went back.
Well, he kind of like, until I had to try to help, and then he went upstairs. So Dan got weird.
Yes, so we went.
So first he got weird.
I got weird. I went back to we went back to the back porch, started to get paranoid, and I convinced myself that all my neighbors knew that we were on mushrooms and they were going to call the cops. So any noise I heard was them figuring out a way to call the cops on us. And then I started to, my thoughts, because these were really strong ones, really started to get so overwhelming that it was almost like too many pop-ups on a screen. And I couldn't really handle everything going on in my mind, which made me like dizzy or whatever. And I got up and I puked in the bushes. And after I puked, then I started spiraling even more.
Oh, God, then the emotional spiral started.
Emotional spiral.
The emotional spiral began outside post-puke.
Yeah, I determined that since I puked, my health was declining and I might be dying. I had also convinced myself that I had done brain damage with the mushrooms, and this was the state that I was going to live in for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, it was totally ruining my cookie buzz. Like I was on this just baked cookie high, if you will.
Yeah.
And you're a little pukey emotional spiral. Like, and I was trying to be super nice about it, right? And supportive.
Yes, you
I
were.
was trying to get him all his shit. Do you need ice water? What can I do? You know, remember, you're just on a bunch of mushrooms. Like, be cool. Like, I wasn't being like a biatch about it.
No, not at all. You were helpful, but I wasn't able to have conversations anymore. It was everything was too
I
overwhelming.
had to
for
send
me.
him upstairs. He had to lay down in a bed.
Yeah. So
I told him he had to go lay down. He had to like quiet his mind. He had to go to sleep. Like,
so, but you had friends on downstairs, and I had nothing on upstairs because I couldn't handle watching TV. And I heard the friends downstairs, but the voices from friends became demonic. Of the cast talking, it was all very demonic. And I was looking at the ceiling in my room, and it all became like these like castles, but like these like dark castles, and like scary, and like skeleton heads and stuff like that.
It was crazy. I feel you were telling me, and I felt so bad that you were going through this because he ruined my night. I sent him upstairs. I put Friends on, and I passed out, and I had a lovely night of sleeping. And I come to find out he's seeing castle demons with demonic friends' voices in the background and shit while I'm sleeping.
I decided everything in my life was pointless, whether it be comedy or work or just, theme parks. All the movies and things I liked were all pointless in my life. And then I time traveled for a bit where I had these visions where I was speaking like days later to some of our comedian friends that I knew did mushrooms at Mike's, telling them that I hated them and I'm never doing mushrooms again. And I had these conversations that I ended up having days later.
And just for context, obviously in comedy, a lot of people are doing a lot of drugs and numbing a lot of issues. So we know a lot of people where mushrooms may be part of, let's call it, their weekly or monthly drug regimen.
Yeah. No, we don't like that.
We don't do it like that because we got like full-time jobs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta like consult for people. So it has to be like a holiday adventure, like a staycation, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were at the house, and like that was the first
like a holiday
time,
weekend. It was the first time in years.
The first time, other than that
like
one
ever.
weekend where we did them a couple weeks prior, but they were not good.
No,
that
sucked.
session was the first time I'd done them in 10 years. And then, even this
then this
session
happened,
was,
and now you never want to do them again.
No. I'm done with them forever. I decided that night, I swore, I took an oath, and whatever kingdom I was in, that whatever realm I was in, I told myself, I also kind of briefly saw myself from when I took them 10 years ago, and it was like, hey, you're back in this realm again, but you don't belong here. So like you don't come back.
Like you're too good of a person to be on this many drugs?
No, it wasn't like you're too good of a person. It was like you're not able to handle this. So like,
oh, okay. This is like acupuncture with Dr. Steve.
Yeah, so
it's beyond your physical capacity.
It is beyond my physical capacity. Don't come back here. And I took an oath that night that I would never ever do them again, and I haven't. And I was like, whatever, 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm still open to it. I mean, outside of, the whole, like, having to sleep through his, mental spiral, and then, God, I don't know, mentally, verbally talk you out of it for weeks afterward. I felt like it really lingered from, like, a mental impact capacity with you. It's almost like you're just not a seasoned drug user to be doing that much penis envy in one night.
No, I mean, I'm not. And no, that next morning, I was like, I remember we went to First Watch. I was like really depressed. It was almost like a traumatizing sort of mental thing. And I was like,
you could barely enjoy your First Watch.
Yeah. No, and that's what bigger crime is there than that. So,
oh my God. I mean, it's almost bigger crime than you throwing up those Just Baked cookies. I mean, so this is the difference too. Like, I am always a little bit reticent, like unsure of something like that I'm not like taking all the time, which is most drugs. So like I took a much less quantity than you did.
Yeah,
Mine was
I went
pretty
kind of ham on
enjoyable.
it.
I mean, I was having a great time until you ruined it, to be honest.
No,
I mean, it was
you
good.
liked
It was
it.
like one of the most fun times of my life. I never was so happy, like more than that cookie being delivered and me being able to watch it second by second, minute by minute on Uber Eats. Like I felt like I was inside the map.
But you didn't eat a bag of seafood earlier that day.
I would never.
I ate a bag of seafood because that's how they prepare it at Crafty Crab, where it's in a bag and seasoning and it's full of corn. And like it was stupid because people, had told us before, just 'cause, like I said, we're not really super experienced doing this, that if you take mushrooms, for one, you're definitely not supposed to drink, which we were, and you're not supposed to just eat a bunch of like garbage food. You're supposed to eat very light, like
Oh, it was seafood, Crafty Crab. I mean, you eat it out of the plastic bag, but I'm sure it's healthy. There's like, potatoes and corn in there.
it's like seafood and shrimp, like doused in seasoning and oils, and like that's not. I'm sure they're
Okay.
like a cleaner seafood.
I'm
that
sure
you'd be
not in
fine.
the plastic. I think the plastic, like serving it in a knotted plastic bag. I mean, I don't really care for seafood, so I don't really get this shit. But like when I see it, that is what doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's not organic, and that's Crafty Crab.
No, whoa. Let's not get a. Who knows what they're doing over there? Okay, so I feel like this leans right into fight of the week, or not fight of the week. My bad. It's called Marriage Fight Club, and that's when we talk about people's fight of the week because like. We could talk about our fights, but we have a pretty nice relationship. We're doing a podcast. We're super codependent. So there's not that much material, but we know a lot of couples. So Marriage Fight Club is talking about all the other couples that we have to deal with and the fights that happen because of their crazy ass.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that's a pretty good description for Marriage Fight Club.
I
And you're
would say
talking...
great description.
Shut up. It was a little lengthy, but we'll tighten it up.
That'd be I'd say that'd be my one problem with it, is it could have been longer.
So I just feel like the holidays are coming up, and I'm just hoping we don't have a repeat of the same, let's call it pescetarian issue. So you're talking about seafood, and that's what made me think about it. That and the outline piece of paper in front of me that has it on there. So those two things really triggered it in my mind. We are going out of order just because he did bring it to my attention. But so these people we know have this issue where like they have organic and pescatarian family members at the holiday dinner. And that's totally cool, right? We have no problem with that.
Yeah. We are supportive of all Tarians.
Yeah, we are pro whatever the fuck you want to eat,
Whatever
right?
Tarian.
Yeah.
Vegetarian, pescatarian.
Eat nothing, be bulimic, whatever you want to do. It's just your jam. We're down with it. But you ever have that? This is the issue between the couple we had. In their family, they had kind of like a fake pescatarian / vegetarian, someone who's real like know-it-all-y, and they got called out, and it caused like an ish.
They brought it up a lot, but they weren't super like disciplined to it either. Like they were eating sausages.
Yeah, so they were eating sausages,
and meatballs.
And the next day to my friend, they're like, oh. They're like defining like pescatarian and explaining their like food dispositions and what they can eat and what that means. And they were like, yo, you're just some people who try not to eat meat because you're eating sausage the other day. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So
like, do you hate on that? You think they should have dropped that right there at the family dinner?
Yeah, I think that they should have came out as pescatarians.
Like against the pescatarians, not
or
just calling them out.
Or just maybe admit that they weren't as committed as they could have been.
Gone farther and brought up the sausage right there in front. Because I think what actually happened was like, look, I don't care if you're vegan, organic, vegetarian, pescatarian. I just know you as somebody who tries not to eat meat.
Yeah.
Meaning, AKA, everybody here at the table knows that you ate some sausage the other day from the crock pot, and we don't want to call you out now that you're defining fucking pescatarian.
But that's not sexy. That's not sexy to just say, hey, we're just not trying to eat meat. That doesn't even have a term. When you say pescetarian, that is a thing.
It sounds scientific.
Sounds scientific. It sounds like
Like
they've
know it
committed to
all. Like,
something.
oh, I'm a pescatarian. That was me putting my glasses up, not picking my nose. My finger went in the wrong spot, but it's like,
Pescatarian, I eat boogers.
That's raw, baby. That's going fully raw. I don't know. I say you call that shit out. I don't even care. Like, make a whole rift, and let it be. I feel like we're on the same page with this fight.
We normally are. It's that's our problem. We
Yeah,
just
we
are
hate
always on the
everything.
same page, and we have no fights ever. Uggs.
Okay, well, we didn't get to a lot of stuff, but it's okay because
We normally don't.
we connected with you guys out there, and
Yeah.
that's what's important. I have my Pinot Grigio in my unnamed. They haven't sponsored us yet. I'm going for a big sponsor. Oh, I can't see. There you go. You guys, 2 mics, 1 marriage.
There's our promo video.
So anyway, you're not a real Floridian unless you have your Pinot Grigio and a Flanagan's.
Yeah, I've been
Cup.
here 10 years now.
You still
Decade.
You don't not care about the cops as much as I do as a native Floridian yet.
I still care about doing things wrong.
Yeah. See, as me as a native Floridian, I don't even think the cops are paying attention, and they certainly don't care about a middle-aged white lady. So I do whatever the fuck I want in my car. But Dan's still caught up in his Pennsylvania, ways.
I am, but we should wrap this up. We should round this in. We have reached our time per se. So yeah, we're going on tour soon. The 2 Mics, 1 Marriage comedy tour. Lots of venues down here in South Florida, which you can follow it on YouTube. You can follow on Instagram. We're gonna be Instagram, YouTube are the big ones. Laughing Spree.
We don't care about Facebook anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, well, you can find us on Facebook too. But
at Laughing Spree TV.
At Laughing Spree TV.
Laughing Spree Studios is now bringing you 2 Mics, 1 Marriage. We got the podcast. We got the tour. We got Dan. So we know we're winning.
You guys will be on Apple and Spotify as well.
Apple
and Spotify.
Add that to our flyers.
Oh my God! With HGTV, fucking Hulu, HBO Max.
You won't even be able to see us anymore. It will
Laughing
just
Spree
be all logos. That's what you're going to see.
All over our faces and everything. No, it's gonna be great.
We'll make up a couple of streaming services that don't even exist and put on there.
That would be good. All right, Fry Festival. You'll see us everywhere. So 2 Mics, 1 Marriage. We'll catch you guys next time.
See ya, kids.